So a very good afternoon and welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to do some early autumn macro photography. So we're going to be looking for fruits and berries and nuts and mushrooms and all kinds of things like that. So I've come to a new location this morning. I've come to Horton Moor, which is not too far away from the woodland that I often visit. I just didn't quite know how to get here, so I spent some time studying the maps. It's actually quite easy. So Horton Moor, new location, early autumn macro photography. Canon 5D, signal 105. Let's get stuck in. Alright, so first up we've got this plant and it's covered in some raindrops and I was really drawn to that. The problem I've got is the leaves on this are quite shiny and I don't have a polarizer that will fit the macro lens here, so I'm having to underexpose this by 2 stops, but it's kind of giving quite a dark and moody feel to the image. I quite like it, so let's talk you through some camera settings here. So if I bring up the info on the live view, so we're 3 stops underexposed here, 1/25th of a second, f10 and ISO 200, and I've focused right on the point where the leaves are growing out the centre of this plant. So let's go ahead, using a 2-second timer, I'm going to take the photograph. Alright, so next up we have what appears to be the lower reaches of a branch of a willow tree, and on it there's a bit of an acorn, and the leaves around it, daft as it sounds, it looks like it's got wings, and I like that, so we're going to take a photograph of that. So kind of a f11, a 15th of a second, ISO 400, and you know what, I think I'm going to underexpose this by a stop actually, just to get some of the highlights in the background. So using a 2-second timer, 25th of a second, f11. ISO 400, hopefully the wind didn't blow that too much then, because we've got a little blow through. No, that's nice and sharp, so I'm going to show that to you. We'll go find some mushrooms now, I think. I like mushrooms, it's mushroom time of the year, so let's go find some mushrooms. So I'm just going to take a breather here for a few minutes. My legs are on fire. A couple of days ago, took the kids up Mam Tor in the Peak District, and after we climbed that, scaled the side of Winnet's Pass, and my legs have been destroyed pretty much ever since. But it wasn't really a photo day on Saturday, so I didn't really make a video around that. But I did take a camera with me because I like cameras and cameras are my thing. So I'm going to take one half reasonable photograph from Mam Tor. I quite liked the way the clouds was all blowing across and everything. There was no light, it was a bit of a grey and overcast day for the most part. So I edited this in black and white purely because I like the look of black and white sometimes, but I really just wanted to draw the attention to the sky. While it's a bit of a noisy photograph, I was using the Canon 1D and it was handheld, the lens wasn't stabilised, so it's a bit noisy, but I quite like the photograph for what it is. So yeah, so I think we're just going to hang around here for a few minutes, just catch our breath a little bit. I found a little patch of mushrooms, listen to clearing down there, so I think they're going to be the next target. And after the mushrooms, we may go find some brambles or something just to take a photograph of as well, because obviously it's that time of year now, it's sort of early September, a lot of the fruits and berries are starting to appear. They've appeared quite early actually this year, come to think of it. Excuse me, I'm thirsty. Yeah, it's been a funny autumn. I noticed a lot of the trees around where I live have already started to turn orange and brown and everything. I think that's more to do with the droughts we've had over the summer. I think the trees have been a little bit stressed out, so autumn kind of arrived early. A lot of the fruit and berries, like I say, have arrived a little bit early. I'm surprised to see mushrooms, to be honest with you. I was expecting them to be a bit more of a challenge to find than they are, because obviously I think mushrooms like cold and damp, wet weather, don't they? And we haven't really had any of that in the UK over the last few months. So yeah, a bit of a breather. We'll take some mushrooms, I think. Mushroom time. So what I'm doing here is I'm walking around, I'm trying to find a mushroom that's poking up from the ground enough that you can see the stalk. Let's see if the camera will focus. We've kind of got that one there. I think the camera's going to have to go on the deck a little bit to shoot across this, but well, that one should work. Let's go get the camera and put it on the floor. I don't think it's going to be a tripod job. I think I'm going to rest the camera on the floor for this, and we'll sort of photograph across it where we can see the stalk a little bit. There we go. So this is one of them. Alright, so the mushroom is there. I'm using a little LED light just to illuminate it, give it a little bit of side light, a little bit of light coming around the front rim of it there. Mostly just a little bit of side light, and the camera is vertically placed on the deck, and it is one of them shooting positions which is an absolute nightmare. So let's go ahead and we'll take this photograph. So as I was saying, it is a bit of a nightmare down here. Everything's very close in, and there's a lot of debris and litter and everything, and the mushroom is right on the deck as well, which is really not helping this, but I think I've managed to compose this. Okay, so like I said earlier on, I'm just using the LED light just to shine a little bit of light on the mushroom. So initially I was underexposing this by around 2 stops. I just want to get everything in the background in shadow and away from the mushroom. Settings wise, we're at f14, an eighth of a second now, so 100 as the photograph taken. It's not so much of a problem using the slow shutter speed down here because there's no wind. There's no wind on the floor, so the mushroom isn't going to wobble about a little bit. It's just been a bit of a chore getting everything set up, so I'm going to show you the photograph and we'll move off and we'll find something else. Alright, so just down here on this leaf in front of me, there is a ladybird that's been really quite obliging with this. It's stayed still while I've set the tripod up, I've set the camera up, I've taken some test shots, so let's take a photograph of it. Just adjust this composition ever so slightly, bring it around there. So I'm going to focus on the ladybird. It seems like it's sort of sat on something. I don't know if it's protecting something or it's on some eggs or something. It's weird. But it's definitely sat on something. So a 60th of a second, f7.1. Obviously I'm using the smaller aperture because we're quite close into this ladybird, so we need the depth of field. Shooting this wide open at 2.8, you wouldn't get an awful lot in focus. So 7.1, 60th of a second, ISO 200, no wind. Here's ladybird, and we'll go see what else there is in the woods today. Video work here. There's a dragonfly down here on this plant. I'm just trying to skulk up to it and see if I can't get its photograph. It's flown off. That's really annoying. Is it going to come back? It's heading back this way. Still see it. It's ran off, but I can see it. Let's go take a photo. Alright. So I'm going to call that all she wrote today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. It's been a bit of a random one. It's been a bit of a rush job. I needed to get out and get something done. So this is about all I could think to do. So if you did enjoy the video, please do give it one of those thumbs up things, because it does help the video out and it brings new viewers to see my content. And you can also hit the subscribe button, which is somewhere below my chin, and you'll see more nonsense from me every single week. So until the next time, I'm going to leave you in safe peace and goodbye.